Let's go, baby.
I remember the night I was robbed as clearly as the first time I knew I was in love. There were two of them. One had a gun that eagerly worshipped at my temple, praying for me to follow directions, and the other carried his fury like a firearm that wouldn't fit in its holster, so he took it out on me. And as his fist hit like pistol whips, it started to feel like a dream. Like things couldn't possibly be as real as it seems, but his knuckles were mean. And certain strikes made my skin cut open clean. That incident has turned itself into a blood-soaked memory I can't seem to wring out of my brain tissue. There is no way I'll forget it. The face of a 40 cal in the midst of a dream. Playing rock, paper, scissors with the hands of time, hoping for all of this to come to an end, and then it did. Missing my shoes, shorts, hat, and $160, this robbery was a moment in time that my pride would never let me forget. But sometimes I get confused, like, who? Who was really there, baby? Was it you? No. You said you would never hurt me, but you had your heart pointed towards me like a gun, and the bulletproof chest couldn't protect me from a love of that caliber. It took me a year till I realized I was in love with you. Never wanting to fall into something I would have to climb back out of, but I guess I must have slipped somewhere along the crevice of courage and vulnerability. Trapped in this cave we have been carving for the past 2 years, caught between the bungee cords that connected me to your heart, and I admit, sometimes I held on to those ropes forgetting what they were even fastened to. You never know what you got till it's gone, and the things you don't think will happen to you will happen to you. Whether it's getting the shit knocked out of you, shoes, shorts, hat, and 160 snatched from you, or if it's the only girl you have ever loved in your entire life telling you she doesn't feel the same, it is all the same. Because the moment you told me you weren't in love with me felt like being robbed at gunpoint. And it's crazy how I remember the robbery like a dream, but someone stealing you from me was always my worst nightmare. I will never forget. That conversation has turned itself into a love-soaked memory I can't seem to wring out of my brain tissue. There is no way I'll forget. The voice of my love in the midst of a nightmare. Playing rock, paper, scissors with the hands of time, hoping for all of this to come to an end, and then it did. Once she hung up the phone, emotion anchored its way in and the situation sank in. But even though this poem could never explain how being robbed feels, well, it's kind of like a dream, yet more like a nightmare that you have to live with even when you're awake, because sometimes I see a gun flash across my face when I hear a love song. Alicia, I could have sworn it was you behind the trigger.